Now joined by Carson-Newman coach Mike Mincey after the Lady Eagles win this game. And, Coach, we talked about it on Saturday. We talked about it earlier today. Shooting woes for your team. As well as you shoot 63%, you hand out 36 assists.
Mm-hmm.
How much does that mean to you as a coach to see your team rebound like that less than 48 hours after the loss on Saturday?
Well, I mean, you know how we shot it at home against Catawba, and that's probably the reason that we suffered that loss was because we just never could get a rhythm. Here we saw a little bit of man, saw a little bit of zone. I think our team handled the zone really well. But when you have certain people like, Bird went 9 for 11, Lindsay was 9 for 10, but we were giving her the ball in scoring position. Braylon goes 9 of 16, hits 6 threes. I think 4 of the last 5 games she hasn't even hit a 3. And so you come on the road. We didn't even practice yesterday. We didn't even get on the floor because I didn't want them to see a ball. I didn't want them to see a rim. Come over here today. I think they really had a purpose in mind of what they wanted to try to do, especially after what happened on Saturday. So, happy that we could come over here, share the basketball, play well as a team, hit threes, and, make the right reads and score a lot of points.
You scored the game's first 10 points of the game. You had a 22-point lead at halftime. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that you were sharing the ball well, but you were also forcing turnovers. You had that intensity right out of the gates. Why did you see your team have some success defensively to be able to get some of those easy buckets?
I just hope with our team that what happened on Saturday, we're obviously going down the stretch now. We got a lot of things that we're playing for. And, you're coming over here and Queens has had a lot of unfortunate things happen to them. I think they're playing without their number 2, 3, and 4 leading scorers. They've only got 7 players. And, I thought about coming over here and not even pressing because we needed to work on things on the defensive end. But, schematically, if we've got 10 and they've only got 7 healthy bodies, we need to try to utilize that. And I think, like in a lot of games, our depth is probably what paid off to where – when you're getting so tired, you're probably going to turn the ball over and miss shots. And they still scored. I mean, give them credit. They scored the ball pretty well there in the second half, or at least they felt like they did. Made some tough shots. But, just happy that we can come out and be able to get back to pressing and playing that kind of style that we like to play.
Shuffle the lineup around, and it pays off for you. Abby Wilson, 11 assists, career high there. 3 assists in that regard. Obviously, Taylor Goforth doesn't necessarily have the numbers that are inflated, but she's number 3 on the plus-minus chart that you like to refer to all the time. And then off the bench, Skylar Boshears in double figures. She adds 5 rebounds. How do you grade how your team handled the changes in the rotation and understood that they're still going to get on the floor and have a chance to make an impact?
I mean, that's part of the things that we talked about yesterday as we navigate these last few games before we get into tournament play. How do we want to approach each game and how do we want to be a good teammate and sharing the ball and starting doesn't matter and we're all going to play because we have 10 guys that all deserve to play. And, I think they handled it well. I was happy to see Abby and Braylon. We've talked about, why did we not play them together before? But, because we were kind of platooning. We're using them as our 2 point guards. And now we got to take Braylon off the point, let Abby run it. And then Braylon has a great game, shoots the ball well. Abby took care of it, and she's taken care of it all season long. But I think she had 9 assists in the first half. And then she has 11 for the game, only 3 turnovers. You mentioned Goforth. I mean, she's been at the top of our plus-minus chart the entire year, and she doesn't have to score to be that. She just plays defense. She takes care of the ball. She doesn't take ill-advised shots. Just a great player to have on our basketball team. And so for Abby and Goforth in particular, I'm happy to see them be able to get back in the lineup. And Abby hadn't started this year. Today was her first start, so I'm glad she proved me right in today's game.
Sometimes teams have the tendency after a loss to have a performance like this and say, all right, we've done what we needed to do. How do you make sure that your team harnesses what happened here today and understands that this isn't a one-time thing? They're not off the hook for what happened on Saturday and what's happened this season. They got to keep this going on Wednesday at Mars Hill.
Well, I think they're going to understand. Again, we're playing an undermanned team that only has 7 players. They've had some unfortunate injuries to them, and we needed to do what we needed to do today to continue to move forward and win another basketball game. And now we're moving into Mars Hill, and we know what's down the schedule. But they're not going to allow that to happen. And I think the guy girl you're going to talk to here next, Bird. They just can't allow it to happen. We can't get complacent. We're going to go over and play Mars Hill, and we're going to play them just as hard as what we did today. And hopefully we can continue to put forth offensive performances like we did today. And I thought we played defense pretty well, too.
Coach, appreciate the time. We'll talk to you Wednesday. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.